Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl again, and I'm back. If this is your first time of watching my video, please do well to click on the subscribe button and also click on the notification button to get notifications when I post new videos. And if you're a subscriber, you already know now, I love you and I love you guys full time. Well, with me today is my husband. I will let him introduce himself so that I won't be the one using my mouth to chop another person's onions. So introduce yourself to them.
Okay, greetings to you. I am Michael.
I particularly already did a part 1 of how we met. I gave my own version and then he listened to it and is like, it seems this girl sets me up.
Yeah.
So I had to bring him today so that he can, will I say, vindicate himself. Yes. So today we'll be hearing his own part of the story. So it won't be just my own side that we'll get to know.
Actually, we met 2014. That was the first time I got to meet her. 2014 during on a matric day, in the euphoria of celebration, enjoyment, and all that. That was actually my first time of meeting her. And what were we actually doing that day? Okay,
I was with my father.
Spiritual father. I was with my team members. We do have activity on occasions like that where we reach out to students that are coming into the institution. We help them in the step-by-step registration and whatsoever way of helping them to get used to the institution and move on in ways that are positive. So that was it. We go out
and then you now cut me.
So we went out that day with my team members, giving out forms. Definitely with such activities going on, eating, drinking, and we believe they won't actually have time to give you. So we just give out forms. How are you doing? Welcome to the university. How may we help you further? You put that down in the form, and then subsequently we'll reach out to you. So that was actually what we were doing that day, and we met her. Hi, can you fill the form? And that what we leave it.
Well, it was still a matric day. Last, it was a matric day that he first saw me, and that was the first time we ever met.
My first impression about you was a good one, because unlike others, when we meet them, they don't respond to you. I'm busy, we are doing something, sorry, talk to you later. But you gave me an audience, filled the form, and answered some questions that we asked. So you were humble and attentive, and you listened, even though at the long run I got to find out that it wasn't actually comfortable that day for you, as you passed through a lot, trying to get to the school and all that. But with all the I would say trauma, you still gave us audience. So I saw humility in you, reaching out to you. You responded, you gave us attention, you answered the questions we asked, and we felt, wow, this is really it, and it was a good one, and I like that.
For me, I did not have any first impression. No first impression, because okay, the truth is this, that On my matric day, I was happy. But then when I received a call from my parents, whom I was expecting, and then they said they weren't coming again, so I wasn't really, that's how will I put it now? That joy or happiness that I should have had was no longer, it wasn't really there anymore because they didn't come around again. So it was even after I've received the call from my parents when they said they weren't coming, so I was already preparing. Let me just collect my pictures and go back home. It was within that time frame he met me. So I didn't even have time to start looking at somebody's face or start observing it. I just collected form and filled form and moved ahead with my life. So I did not have any first impression. Yes, I didn't actually. I'm talking of on that matric day. I didn't really. I just collected form and filled. Other fellowship people, other fellowships, other units or church or bodies came and met me also, and I just filled form and.
So you were indifferent.
Yeah, not like I was indifferent. So that was it. So, like I said earlier in the part 1, after the matric, he was a spiritual father.
Okay.
He was a spiritual father to me in school because he usually would call to know how my spiritual life was going.
He's a spiritual father now. Some people will not go understand. More than a spiritual father, I was there for your academics. My priority was actually academics. Of course.
He was a school father.
I think that's more appropriate. A school father.
He was a school father to me. He usually would call and ask me how I'm doing, try to coach me on some things. Like, we're in the same department, our faculty was entirely different, so but like, call me and we just sit out, we talk about the Bible and stuff like that. So that's how it was till he left school. And it was more like we lost touch because for years we weren't really talking, but once in a while we chat on Facebook.
And how you doing?
Ask how I'm doing, how his studies, how your spiritual life. Well. How your spiritual life was very particular. Then I'll be like, hey, everything is fine. I know all of that until 2018, I guess. 2018 or 2017. 2017 or 2018 in my finals, when he came to school. And then we had to meet and just talk and all that.
It was, you're doing all the talking alone. And today I'm supposed to give my own side of the story.
Please give your own side of the story. Please.
Okay. Let me just say, after the matric, that was actually the first time we met, and as it is, okay, I would say my team was under the Great Commission movement of Nigeria. So I even actually saved her name with Sandra GCM. So what we do is we follow up young and new students, see them through registration process, encourage them both in the academics, spiritually, in all ways we can help. So it's more than a spiritual father. So that was actually it. After the matric, my team was for the reaching out, and then we have other teams that do the follow-up. So her name and everything was actually handed over to someone else who did the follow-up. So we never had contact until maybe a year or two, when they distributed the names. Okay, you do the calling of so and so person. So her name actually fell
just
under
like
my
that.
own.
Wait, I don't understand.
Mind you,
wait,
people like
my name just fell into your own
people
side,
like,
just like that.
Barrister James, he would always say I went and did Magomago.
Yes,
No,
actually they
he
said.
was actually the one
Let
that
me
did the
say the truth.
distribution of the names.
In fact, I don't know, but his friends always said that when they were supposed to submit the form, he didn't submit my own form. That he actually withheld it and submitted others that he caught young that day. So now he's telling me that that's his own side.
My own side of the
that's
story.
his own side of the story.
My own side of the story, as
he said there was a collation.
You know, there have to be a two side. This is my own side.
That's his own side, yes.
So there was a collation.
But this is what his friends told me,
and they
that he did not submit my form.
There was a collation, and they gave the lot
fell just like that.
So I was doing the calling, and actually, like almost a year, I was reaching out and following up those that are under me, and she was one of them. We do fixed meetings in the evening in the campus. I'll meet with either all of them or few of them that are available, encourage them academically, spiritually. We are not financially buoyant then, so but if the case arises, we know where to seek for help, as we are under a very able body. So it was really interesting and nice, and I really like an aspect of her. She is committed, and she keeps to time. Each time we call for a meeting to, interact and discuss, she comes, she's attentive, and she was actually following up. And then until I left school, we lost contact, or we didn't communicate actually for almost 3 or 2 years, right? Since I left school, we didn't actually communicate, and I have a lot on my head.
As a man that
we are out there after school, NYC, starting up a firm, pursuing other things, a lot. I have a lot of friends, male, female friends, so it's like a whole lot out there, and I didn't even remember I had a spiritual daughter or a school daughter.
Anyway,
so actually I went further for my studies, and because of running my masters, I was like, wow, comes to school, go after lectures and all that. But one day I was like, there are some people I need to see in the school. I should have school sons and daughters I need. So I reached out to a few of them, and she was one of them. And I called her one day, can we see? We saw. It was really a wonderful moment, meeting after some years. We discussed about life. We talked about issues. We talked about almost every aspect of life, She was more matured then, not still
not like a naive girl.
Not a naive girl. I don't call her a naive girl. So she was more mature then. So we discussed, and it was really interesting. That was even the first time I got to know Kea. She's from my side, from my state, from my region, So I got to know more about her, and though I wasn't really thinking of the marriage she was even talking about.
I did not say so.
Didn't say anything. So it was actually interesting. After then, we still parted way, but we kept talking, and one or two.
So when did it start coming to your mind?
That was like 2019, right? 2019
to 18.
2019.
2018.
Okay, 2018 ending.
2018 was when you called
Okay, by
me.
this time.
It was in 2018 I
December.
posted I needed a jam box.
Yeah, actually, it was 2018. Yeah, 2018. And I just saw her status on WhatsApp and needed a jam box. See, this my school daughter. I just sent a beep. Oh, I have one. Can you come and have it? So that was how it all started. And she came.
Ladies beware.
The way of waiting
Just
again.
continue.
So that was how it all started, and she came. We met at ShopRite. I gave her the jam box. How are you? It's been a while. This one we have been off and on. How has it been? And I will say at that point of my life, I had my life plans and goals. So at that point of my life, I was actually looking at the next level. You know what I mean? The next level. So, and actually, I was consulting with my creator, consulting God. How do you want me to achieve this? Who do you want me to settle down with? So, in my own way of communicating with God, I was doing that, and I had an open mind. As I said, I had a lot of friends, good friends. God actually blessed me with good friends, both male and female. She knows a lot of them. So we interact, I interact too with them, and we talk about issues. And in something like this, I had an open mind about marriage. So I, sometimes it's so cloggy. Feel as if some people that are very close to you, but it doesn't always work that way. But I had an open mind, and I kept communicating with my God in the best, or in the way I had been. And I begged God for something. I told him, God, my first relationship should be my last. I don't want to really be in and out. I just want to go in and have what I want. So that was one of my major prayer, and I was at the point afraid that this thing will give me problem. I was actually at a point afraid, hope I'll get this thing right. But it came so easy, more than I even thought, more than I expected. Some of my friends, I won't mention their name, I was thinking, they will be the one to force settle down and all. But, I just felt, if it happens, but I just believed in God that He would see me through. And actually, the ball started rolling. Then we talked about issues, we talked about our plans, our purpose, our visions in life. We all shared, that to each other. And then we talked about relationship and marriage. So that was, at that point, I started looking at that direction. And after we parted, I still talked with some of my tight friends. I talked to God about it, and something started happening.
So how did you know? Because I want to believe you not just talk to your creator and just like that. So how did you know that we are meant to be?
Okay, you're expecting a big
Exactly. A lot of people are always expecting it to call you and say, Sandra is the one. So how did you get that kind of experience? How did you get to know?
It didn't actually come that way. As I said, I know how I hear from God in my own little way. So I heard Him, and the strong impression was there. The peace of mind was there. Meeting that day, going back, thinking about it, the thoughts started bearing, leading to thoughts, the thoughts started getting bigger and bigger, and I started asking, praying,
and seeking.
So, and it was actually yielding result. I found out that we started talking from then on, and I found out that our vision, our purpose are in line. And then I liked her as a person. I like some of her characters and attitudes I observed at that moment, and in the course of our interaction. I found out you're a humble person, and that caring aspect of you. Those were the major things that really attracted me physically. And then I think she's a prayer warrior. I don't know, I always miss prayer warriors.
Well,
So,
one thing I would want us to understand is this. A lot of singles are always asking the question, how do I know he's the one? How do I know she's the one? And then you're expecting a loud voice in your room, or you're expecting a flash or a wind to blow and shake everywhere and be calling your name. My dearest, it doesn't always happen like that. God can speak in such manners, but I tell you, he doesn't always speak like that. He can speak to you through dreams. He can speak to you through your heart. But the most important thing is that you shouldn't just go to God when you're ready for marriage. You should be in close contact with him even before it's time for you to settle down. The Bible says, my sheep knows my voice. So if you are a sheep or a flock of God, when he speaks to you, you would know his voice. You would know he's the one speaking to you. And so you don't have to start waiting. When it comes to marriage, you will now say, okay, but this is how he used to speak to me before. This time around, I want him to speak like this, shake everywhere. My dear, nothing is shaking anywhere. You just have to come to the reality of the fact that he can speak to your heart. He could show you through dreams. I'll give you an example. Before I met him, that's before we started interacting closely and talking about relationship and marriage, there were a lot of guys around me. There were a lot that were showing interest. But of course, would I now just pick one randomly? No. As children of God, you're not supposed to just pick any guy randomly. You are not even supposed to be too anxious about marriage, because you could make the right choice when you could make the wrong choice, when you become so too anxious, or you become desperate to get married. And that's what's happening to a lot of singles. A lot of people are married today and they wish to be single, and then you are out there, you are single and you don't want to enjoy your singlehood. My dear, enjoy your singlehood though. Marriage is another stage of life. No, that's the truth. Marriage is another stage of life. Before he came and was talking of relation, I gave myself a timeline of when I wanted to be in a relationship. I said I wasn't going to be in a relationship while I was in school until I got to my finals or when I was done with school. And I wanted a just one I don't want you date this one, you break your heart, this one you break the person's heart. No, I told God even before I got admission, I wasn't ready for this kind of drama. So I wanted something that this is it. So each time any guy came around me and was talking of marriage, I would always go in my secret place and pray. And when I pray, I'll be able to give a response that no, it can't work, or no, this. I always prayed about it. It might sound so spiritual in quotes to a lot of people, but it saved me a lot of troubles. A lot of my friends were always asking me, Sandra, why is it that you don't want to get married? I said, I am not interested. So one is, you have to set a boundary or set some standards for yourself. I knew at this time I wasn't ready for a relationship, and when I was ready for it, when I see people come around, I would always want to pray and seek the face of God. So you always have to seek the face of God. He can speak to you through maybe you having peace of mind. So stop waiting for a loud voice to come in your room shouting your name and no. This is something that confuses a lot of people, and until we get it right, we'll keep having misconceptions. Some people will keep getting into wrong marriages because they are unable to detect what God is actually saying to them. Now, there are important questions you should ask. For me, I listened to a message while we are still cutting, and then I picked it from there, and I was able to ask him those questions, and I got my answers. And one of those questions happened to be, who are the people he looks up to? Like, in case we don't pray for that, so we don't envision that, but like you go haywire, who are the people I can talk to that you would listen to? He told me those people, and I took note of them. I still remember them. I still know the people he mentioned. So don't just jump into any relationship because the person said, I will marry you, we have a future together. It's not everybody that is seeing you in their future that you're actually in their future. So you have to really learn to ask the right questions. Learn to, it's not enough to just talk. Some people just feel that in a time of relationship, you just unnecessary talk, or to ask the right questions. Try to build the bond. Try to build your communication skills with each other, because to go a long way, it's not about the euphoria of the feeling you have before you got into the relationship that will keep you married. That's not what will keep you. Well, that will be a talk for another day anyway. But you've heard his own side of the story, and you've gotten to know how we actually met, and that's it. That's how we met. And God being so kind and faithful, this is where we are today. We're married, and we bless God for thus far he has led us. And I would want every single lady out there to understand that you being single is not a crime. You being single is not a curse. You being single is not something bad that should make you want to isolate yourself from others. I see some people, they are not married, and then because of that, they are not socializing. My dear, socialize, meet people, talk with people, interact with people. At the right time, your spouse will come. At the right time, the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh would come, will locate you. But then, don't feel like you being single is a disease. Enjoy your singlehood when you have the time, so that when you're married, you will not be wishing to be single, and then you will not jump into marriage. Because when you're already seeing yourself like you are single is a disease, you will want to jump at any man that comes knocking and say, I want us to get married, I see a future in you. No, you have to take your time, seek the face of God, and I bet you won't fall off the right track. What's your word to single men out there that, these days I even realize that men don't want to get married?
You're not serious.
They are
Who told
dodging.
you that?
They are dodging. They are running away from responsibilities. But what's your advice to those single men out there?
Well, my advice, or what I would say, is that everyone has a time. It's just for you to find out from your creator when is your time. One thing you will know is that when your time comes, it has come. So find out from your creator. He has a manual. He has a manual for your life. So everything find its purpose in him, God. So you find out from God when is your time, and when your time comes, it has come. I never, had in mind that I would, by this time, I would have settled down. But when things started, I had a life plan, I had a life goal, which you know, it's not that it was actually when I got married that I put down, but the difference wasn't much. So I still sought God, and when my time came, I was so sure. I had a strong impression, I had that peace, and I had Him in the way He talks to me. So even when the resources were not much available, I still put down my plans towards achieving this project, marriage, and it worked out. So when your time comes, your time has come. And then one important thing about the marriage is that you, just as you as a person have a plan, have a purpose for living, have a vision, have a mission, your being together should have these. Your marriage should have a purpose, a vision, you know, and a mission. So the two of you should come together and put one up. Know why you are marrying. So it's as important too. So these are my few thoughts.
Well, you've heard him. So, thanks for watching my video.
Mhm.
Please, if you've not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go and click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. See you in my next video.